Hey, Jody here, bringing you another healthy living video. This one is part 3 of the Everlywell food sensitivity test. If you have not watched parts 1 and 2, they're brief. Go back, click on it, and watch them. Part 1 is me unboxing it, kind of giving you my initial thoughts, initial reactions, etc. Part 2 is where I actually poke my finger and put the blood on the card, and I go through it fast so you don't have to see much blood and that kind of stuff. I'm not into all that. And I literally pack it up, put it in the mailbox, and that's real brief. And then part 3, this part, I want to talk to you about the results. First and foremost, gut feel. I think the results are accurate. I'll talk to you about that a little bit. But I got to tell you, I'm very happy with the response time of this entire test. So I literally recorded the video where I'm unboxing this thing on February 2nd. On February, and I placed it in the mail. On February 3rd, I got an email that stated that they had my results. How they got it so fast, I don't know, but they did. February 4th, my results were posted, and I was given a link. I went on, online, everlywell.com, I created an account, and boom, there are my results. I have them here. You can't see my laptop, but they're here in front of me. All to say, I'm very impressed with the turnaround time of this thing. So you may recall I bought the $100 test, and it tested for 96 foods. To my pleasant surprise, I'm only mildly reactive, and the categories are mild, moderate, and high reactivity. Normal, mild, moderate, and high reactive. So out of 96 foods, I tested mild reactivity, and there's various scales on the mild for 5 foods. Those 5 foods are Brewer's yeast, no surprise to me at all. Clams, lobster, Brewer's yeast, chicken, clam, lobster, and soybean. All right, now for Brewer's yeast, what I love about that, you can group this by your reactivity or by food groups and food sources all online. All right, so for the first one, Brewer's yeast, I scored an 18. Normal activity goes up to 17, so it's a very mild reaction. And what I love about this, in addition to me getting that quantifiable number, it gives me information about brewer's yeast. Brewer's yeast, for example, is a byproduct of the beer and the wine making process. So I think about that. Subjectively, when I drink beer, especially certain beers and or wine, I don't feel good. I don't feel energetic. I can almost feel lethargic, brain foggy, headachy. And this is just a very mild reaction. And frankly, it doesn't seem to bother me as much as it used to when I would drink. I've never been a big drinker, so I have the occasional beer. Maybe that's because my body had a sensitivity going on and I pulled it out of the diet or did it less and less frequently. So I'm not surprised to see this. What I also like about this report for each of these categories, in this case brewer's yeast, is it gives me hidden sources of the yeast in these foods. Fermented foods such as kimchi, sauerkraut, pickled foods, soy sauce, etc. Guess what? For gut health, I added some sauerkraut about a year ago. I didn't feel well. I instinctively knew to get it back out. I actually like the taste, believe it or not. And I know that it's supposed to be good for my stomach, my digestion. But like I've always said, if a food may be the healthiest food in the world, but if it's not good for you, if it doesn't like you, you got to pull it out. And oftentimes we can reintroduce these foods if we choose to, if we want to. Some say 6 months later, slowly reintroduce it. Brewer's yeast is not my friend. By the way, I kind of knew this from 25 years ago. I was lifting weights with a buddy of mine, and we started drinking this Brewer's yeast, and man, he was just getting swole and feeling great and energetic. He was like a blood type A. For whatever that's worth. Me, I was taking the same brewer's yeast. I felt like death. I felt terrible. I'm a blood type O. Is there a connection? Maybe. I think there's something to the eat right for your blood type. I'm not gonna say that it's perfect at all, but I've just seen on myself and working with others, there's something to it. There's hints of truth in that in that concept way of eating. All right, the second one I reacted to was chicken. I'm not impressed by this because I've only got limited amounts of protein sources. Chicken is one of those. What's weird is I instinctively have been pulling away from chicken. I don't like chicken. It makes me want to gag. I would eat it because I'm sometimes a functional eater. It's got protein. Shut up, Jody. eat your protein. But it's not my favorite. I didn't even want to dip it in ketchup just because I've lost my taste for chicken. Still a mild reaction. I'm at 26 where that cutoff line is 17. Still not even in the middle of a mild reaction, but I'm still reacting to it. So guess what? I'm gonna pull chicken out for a little while, and perhaps I'm gonna have a little less inflammation. Perhaps I'm gonna feel a little bit better. I like, again, hidden sources: chicken broth, bone broth, canned soups, deli meats, stews, soups. You know, I like the fact that this has given me things to think about. So Brewer's Yeast, chicken, clam. I won't go too much into clams. I don't eat clams. I had a 25 reaction. Here's something cool. Hidden sources: bone health supplements, calcium supplements. I wouldn't have thought about that. Of course, clam juice and chowders. The next one is lobster for me. I'm not eating a lot of lobster, but it's good to know. I'll avoid it. That's easy, at least for a while. I'm up to a 37, so in the middle of the mild reactivity. And then soybeans. I'm not going to touch soy anyway because I care about my testosterone levels. I think soy is dirty in America as we know it. So I'm not messing with soybeans anyway. Never have. I'm kind of surprised I'm sensitive to something that I've never used, but I'm a 38 on this. And then again, it gives me a whole lot of hidden sources. So this could get interesting if I choose to really pull this out. Perhaps I should because I'm at a 38 on this mild reactivity. Processed chips and snacks, protein bars, tofu I wouldn't touch. Soy sauce, of course. Man, I like sushi. I just don't eat it very often. Textured vegetable protein, processed meat, sauces, shortening oil, vegetable gum, mayonnaise. I don't eat too much mayonnaise, but this really, I love the fact that it's giving me these hidden sources. I think that can help you out there. So, am I a fan of the Everlywell test? Absolutely. For around $100, 96 foods, and there's another tier you can buy and spend a little more. I think this is fantastic. I think it's a no-brainer. Do I think you should do it? Not if you've already had a food sensitivity test that you like, it's legit, you trust it, etc. But if you hadn't, if you're like me, it's been any length of time, 15 years or whatever it was in my case, it's too long. I think it's a no-brainer. I think you got to go get it and find out what foods, not necessarily that you like, but that like you, that like you. In other words, you perform at your best when you eat these foods. I think it can help with weight loss, with inflammation, and of course, you know, the sensitivities around allergies and stuffiness and sinuses and throat clearing and indigestion and everything else that can go with that. So those are my thoughts. Let me know. Give me, if you've got insights, thoughts, comments, experiences, please share them down in the comments. Love to hear from you. Otherwise, please like and subscribe. I'll keep it coming. Thanks.